I do believe I am live. Let me check. I am live. Hello to the 0 people have turned up. Love it. Oh. Delete tweet. I sent an empty tweet. What happens to tweets when you delete a tweet? It still shows up on people's feeds until they, what, refresh it or something? And then it's like gonski? Don't know. There we go. I have tweeted. And I'm live. Hey, Abraham? Faye V? Don't burn myself. Like that. Is it still there? Yeah. There you go. Burn mark, soldering iron burn mark still there. Give me a second while I call up the silly YouTube. There's a reason I've left the black thing on the side. It's because I want to put the live chat viewer up. Not connected. Hang on a sec. Authorize XSplit. Got to do this every time. I don't know why it doesn't remember. Yep. Two-factor authentication on my phone. Okay. Don't ask again on this computer for the 10th time. And I want EEVblog 2. Yeah. Allow XSplit to control everything. There we go. We're up. Sweet as. There you go. So hopefully, let me see if they're, yep, they're synced up. I'm just checking that they're, yeah. Alright, so I can read this screen instead of looking at my XSplit screen. Breathing too much lead again? What? Please, someone tell Omar, because I do not tell. I do not tell. Someone inform Omar what's happening with the EEV dumpster channel. What time is it? It is 4:20. Hiya, Becky. Is Becky a girl? Don't get many girls around. Yeah, XSplit versus OBS. OBS used to be shit. It used to be shit. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like its interface. And then, like, one time I tried it again, and it was like almost a spitting image of XSplit. It's like they totally revamped it or something, I'm sure. It used to be much different, and it now looks and works almost identically to XSplit. Anyway. I've had issues with both, so, you know, like, whatever. Oh, you're a pommy. Pom. Does 15675 mean anything, Becky? Sorry, probably. I assume that the audio's good. People would be telling me if the audio sucks ass. I'm not going to solder anything to... Oh, is it... Sorry, it is not live soldering. It is not live soldering. I'm sorry, that was from... I thought I changed that when I started the stream, but obviously it's... Yeah, no, sorry. It's not live soldering. This is just a Q&A. Questions and answers. So get your questions ready. Doll. I just go, doll. It's not live soldering. Contrary. How do you spell contrary? I'm an engineer, I can't spell. Okay. And let me just pop out the chat, because it's I want live chat, and I want to pop out the chat so I can make it bigger. It's your birth date. I wouldn't be putting your birth date on the interwebs. I think Super Chat's enabled too. Somewhere being... Where is your power out, Jeff? You got power out. When's the next mailbag? Isn't September due by now? Yeah. I put a message... Sorry. I put a poll on the EEVblog forum about mailbag. Whether or not I should continue with my very infrequent mailbags at the moment, but when I do them, they're big and they're epic, like 6-7 different packages at least. And that leads to like 40+ minute videos. Should I actually stick with that, or should I actually go back to Mailbag Monday as a weekly thing and strictly only open 2 items? And then, it'd be like 10 to 15 minutes. Like, it'd be like 15 minutes tops. Yes. I don't know. So let me know about that. I could find the post on the EEVblog forum or whatever. Actually, I should. EEVblog forum. Where did I put it? I will send a link in a second. General chat. Poll. Mailbag Monday. There it is. The results are currently 64% of people would prefer to have a shorter mailbag with 2 items and back as a regular weekly Mailbag Monday. And 21% said they like the infrequent longer format, and 14% don't care. So there you go. So there's the... I'll post it in the... Yeah, where's my chat? Pop up. Oh, I can say something in my own feed, can't I? There you go. Oops, remove any web addresses and try again. What? You can't post web addresses. Is there any way to... What? Me, as the owner of the thread, can't post any... That's retarded. That's unbelievable. I can't even post links on my own forum. That's just like on my own chat. That's ridiculous. Where do I get my service manuals from? I just Google it, Hey, Bangladesh. Yeah, Omar, I think the Rygel scopes and their rotary encoder problems, that's well known. There's been a lot of talk about it on the forum for like 8 years now or something. Yeah, they're just not very good quality rotor encoders. Not sure what brand they are. Yeah, but they're a standard form factor and stuff, so you can go at standard pitch and everything. You can just go in there and replace the encoders. Yeah, I don't know about recently, but yeah, the older ones they had. Yep. Well, everyone seems to want 45-minute weeklies, but that's not what the forum poll shows, so go into the forum poll and vote. Sorry, I can't post the link. I have no idea about the Sane Smart Portable DSO. It's probably, you know, meh. Most USB scopes are meh. So, Sane Smart DS140. I don't know. With Logic Analyzer module, meh. It's all about the software. I don't know. Like, $109. Like, it's not going to be very good for $109. So, you know, but if you got $109 and you want a scope and a Logic Analyzer, well, you know, it'll get you started. Isn't it much better for monetization, Sam Gab says, to have more frequent ones? Yes, it is, because it is indeed, because my average watch time is 10 to 12 minutes of all my videos. If you look at, you know, last year or the last month or whatever, average watch time is about 10 to 12 minutes. So that's pretty much standard across most of YouTube. I'm probably a bit higher than others. But yeah, that's pretty much the limit. So like a 15-minute mailbag is probably like, yeah, it'd be much better. But I don't make a huge amount of money from advertising on the, like, as I said, like a video that gets 50,000 views, for example. You know, an average video might get 50,000 views. That's only worth, what, $50-$60 in income? It's not much. Like, you know, it doesn't pay for me for my time to do it. It you know, so, and if you double that, you get 100,000. It's, you know, it simply does not pay for my time to make that video. So it's not a monetization channel thing, but it's good for the channel in terms of like more frequent content views and help build the success of the channel and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, channel owner can't even post a link. It's just dumb. It's just absolutely dumb. There's lots of dumb stuff like that on YouTube, whereas almost all of my different YouTube accounts are under the same login, right? The same YouTube login, so they know that I'm that person, right? They know that I'm the owner of those different channels, and they'll recommend me my own videos on another channel. Ooh, we recommend you watch this video on EEVblog too. Duh. I created it. Like, it's just so dumb. Anyway. I do have a pick kit for Ho-Ho. Ho-Ho? Ha-ha. Yes, I do actually have one. I just, yeah. Teardown. I posted a teardown photo of it on Twitter. Sorry, but I'm not coming to Oktoberfest. Drop the HTTP and it should work. Oh. How many peeps we got now watching? Okay, here we go. Hey, there we go. It allowed me to post it. There you go. But it's highlighted EEVblog as a thing, at least on my window. That's hilarious. Did my own thing actually show up? My own message didn't even show up on the list here on XSplit. Or is there a lag? Is that a lag thing? 233 people watching. Wow. Sweet. 233 people watching. Wow. There we go. I'm talking to myself. All right. So, sorry, trying to juggle stuff. I need like 4 monitors to do this. Yeah. To put multiple things on. 2 is not enough. 2 monitors is not enough. Yes, of course I watched the Microchip response to my Kit 3 review. It was huge at the time. How long can I solder non-stop? Well, I've done it for 10, 12 hours. Like, yeah, like you just, sometimes you have to at work, you know. But then again, I'm like using the Mantis that you'll see over there. You know, something like that. It depends on what I'm doing, you know. It depends on the fatigue, how tedious it is. But, you know, I can go all day. Sorry, there is no soldering. Tell people there's no soldering. It's a Q&A thing. Because I was cleaning the lab, and I just got, like, I don't know, it's like 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and, like, I don't know. I'm just bored. So, I thought I'd just do a live show. Just to chill a bit. Yeah, I goofed that title. I can't change the title after I've started the stream, which kind of sucks. Any news about the Raspberry Pi power over the Ethernet hat? Well, any news from me or them? From them, they've come out and explained how it was the USB protection or powering chip that would, if there was a spike, it would, like a load, so you plug in a load, any load, like tens of milliamps, it would cause inrush current of the capacitors charging up or something, and that would cause it to glitch out and overcurrent and glitch out. I'm not entirely buying that, especially when people are saying that they just sit there. They just sit in, they're not plugging in anything, and then it just does it, which is what I was seeing as well. I was there just with the keyboard and mouse, like, you know, very low loads, and I wasn't plugging them in, wasn't plugging them out, and all of a sudden it just tripped. So I think it's what I thought, that it was, you know, the noise on there. And sure enough, I think some people have said that if you put an inductor, I think 4.7 mic, in series with the supply and an additional output filtering cap on the hat, then it fixes it. So, yeah. So, yeah, like, so there might be an issue with what they're saying. In fact, you know, I don't necessarily doubt it, but I don't think it's the actual, don't think it's entirely the issue. So I think there's more to it. I am Chinese user who can't register on the EEVblog forum. What's the solution? Sorry, I don't know. You know, some sort of VPN to try and bypass the great firewall of China. Combustion skills. Loves his 121 GW. Awesome. I'm glad. Stuttgart in Germany. Toronto in Canada. We all miss Sagan. Should have more Sagan on, should I? Yeah, I should be home with the family. But we're going out all day tomorrow, so it's alright. Do I have anything to repair? Oh, probably. Nothing that I'm super excited about, I don't think. Otherwise, I'd probably be doing it. There's probably, like, there's broken stuff lying around here. Where are all the in like Flynn and other expressions coming from? Well, a lot of them are typically Australian expressions, very common here in the lexicon, the Australian lexicon. And probably a couple of mine, like, it's a bit how you doing. I think that's mine. I don't recall ever getting that from anyone else using it or get where or how that came about, but you know, I believe that is my expression. And don't ask me where it come from, because I don't know. Wayne asks, am I working for anyone? I'm just living off YouTube these days. I've been living off YouTube for 7 years now. April 2011. April 2011 is when I went, well, not quite, but anyway, officially that's when I got retrenched from Altium and I didn't go back to a real job. I had some consulting work for a while, but did some, you know, did some contract design work. But no, I've basically been full-time at this for like 7 years. So I don't know about Cadence or CAD Allegro. I have no opinion of it. Haven't looked at it for many years. And I have no plans to check it out. Yeah, Raspberry Pi cluster. You know, if I get excited about it again, maybe. Yeah, I don't completely buy that, Matthew. That it was this, you know, that sending high currents to the USB decoupling chips. I think there's more to it. Because people report that just sitting there with nothing connected, it'll do it. So, not buying it. It's probably not untrue, but I don't think it's the whole story. Macedonia. Wow. David too? I don't know where he is. Doesn't work on weekends. Solar House update? No, there's no update. Oh, what's the... somebody... What's in the background with the lid half open? Oh, that's the Data I/O Universal Programmer that I've done a video on. Can I do something with Mighty Car Mods? I actually contacted Mighty Car Mods once and said, hey, I've got a Sinclair C5. Do you want to do a collaboration where we mod that? Didn't hear back from them, so I'm sure they get, you know, quite a few collaboration requests like a week, you know, so all the big channels do. The V8 supercars are on, are they? Oh, well, maybe Mrs. EEVblog is watching the V8 supercar. She's a big V8 supercar fan, Mrs. EEVblog. When I first started dating Mrs. EEVblog, it was like, yeah, I got dragged along to all the V8 supercar events, you know. Yeah, the expression "how you doing" is, you know, is common here in Australia. I didn't, you know, invent that expression, but it's a bit "how you doing." If anyone knows of anyone else using it, let me know. But in terms of, like, you know, something that's, you know, a bit dodgy or whatever. Higgledy piggledy. Didn't invent that one either. How's your father? All right. Cool. Thanks, Epic Noob. Yeah, almost 10 years. Yeah, it'll be 10 years in April next year. I'll have been on YouTube 10 years. What's the worst PCB design I've ever seen? Like, usually, you know, some uni students or something. Yeah, some pretty bad ones. I couldn't recall details, but yeah, just like traces just running higgledy piggledy everywhere. No thought into placement, anything. What do I think the future is for Microchip, the original series, as opposed to the next gen? The original, they're still sold in their tens of millions. They're not gonna. They're still going to be selling those. They're massively popular in like consumer goods and stuff like that. The EEVblog meetup was awesome. Should have been there. It's great. It had like 100+ people. It's fantastic. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the cheap current probes. They're probably worth a go, Mohammed. I'd say. They're worth a go, like, because the Keysight ones are like, yeah, the big brand name ones are really expensive. So, yeah, the cheap ones are probably going to do the business unless you're, really pushing the performance envelope. Yes, 121 GW meters will be back in stock. I probably should. I just released a couple more. I've got some more stock here. Small amount. Yeah, the Bart Schroeder video was awesome. I can't tell you anything more about it because I don't have one. I don't know anything more about it. What is Probes the Monkey up to these days? I just took him from as I was cleaning up. He used to be on the floor, like just down here, and he's now in the cubicle. Probes the Monkey. No, I haven't played around with DCC for trains. What kind of IPC certs do I have? I am CID plus certified. That was a long time ago now, but yes, I am a CID plus certified PCB designer. Yes, I do get recognised out in public. I get stopped by fans. Not going to say all the time, but yeah, it happens reasonably frequently. Not that I go out much. Lead a pretty sheltered life, Is my ancestry taffy? I have no idea what taffy is. What's the Bueller expression? Really? Go and watch Ferris Bueller. Do yourself a favour. Go and watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Youngsters. No, I don't know. I weep for the future. Mrs. EEVblog's a Holden. She's Holden. None of that Ford rubbish in the family. Why don't I buy a pick and place machine? It's because they're expensive and they're pretty much useless and for most people, and they'll just chew up countless hours of your time. And that's why I don't buy a pick and place machine. Yeah, people take selfies. Some want autographs. Most people just want to shake my hand and say hi. Yes, it was Ben Stein, Bueller. He was a former, please correct me if I'm wrong, but he was a former speechwriter, wasn't he? For one of the US presidents? Or some such, I think. He was in politics somehow, or have I got that wrong? The railway's still there. I do have more than 67,000 subs. This is my second channel, EEVblog 2. Only 325 people watching now. I swear, if I put this on my main channel, I wouldn't get any more viewers. I reckon, like, you know, EEVblog 2 is pretty sweet. Maybe I should, even though people don't get notified, I'll do the announcement on the main channel using the community tab.
Hi, I'm Dave Jones from
Hi, I'm Dave Jones from the EEVblog. I hate that video. I hate it. I need a new channel trailer. It's embarrassing. I did that that's an 8-year-old video. 8 or 9-year-old video, and it wasn't even designed as a channel trailer. It was designed for some contest I entered, and it was like just a featurette kind of thing. Yes, you had. That's why I say my secret talent at the start of it is because you had to describe your secret talent or something. Yeah, and that video, I don't know, I just, when the new channel trailer thing came along, hang on, I'm live now on EEVblog 2. Post. Who should see this? Everyone. Members only. Post. There you go. See if anyone else turns up. So I've just announced that on EEVblog, my main channel with 566,000 subscribers, and we're currently 320 people. Let's see if it bumps up, huh? We're doing a live experiment here. And let's see if it bumps up at all. I'm not soldering anything, Killer Extreme. I goofed the title. I thought I changed it, but XSplit had other ideas. And that's what I called my last live show, and that's what it... Yes, I've had to replace a JBC tip not that long ago, a couple of months back, after a couple of years. Yeah, it was ratty. I should have changed it much before that. The micro supply is happening. If you're at the EEVblog meetup, you would have seen it. Any updates on the PCB? The update is it's exactly where I left it last time. I just haven't bothered soldering the rest of it. So there you go. Ingleburn. No excuse that you haven't seen the video in the movie in 20 years, Jonathan. No excuse. Yeah, I've used Metcow. They're a good heavy-duty production soldering iron. We used to use them on the production line at companies I've worked at. Yeah, David too he got called up again for jury duty. It's like the 4th or 5th time now. And it's going to be like 6 weeks again. So I'm going to write another letter trying to get him out of it, saying, hey, you can't take away half my company, you know. Have I ever done any secret work for the government? Technically, yes. For the Navy. Technically, yes. Sorry, Samuel, I don't have access to any other pick-and-place machines. Yeah, the bloody jury duty thing. It's like, come on. I mean, I'm a company of 2 people, right? So they'd be taking away half of my company. They'd be taking away my only other employee for 6 weeks, and I've got to pay for that. Like, I'm all for, you know, as a business owner, like, you know, doing my thing for the community and all that sort of stuff. I've done that various times. But to take away, you know, if I had a larger organisation, then, you know, taking away one employee from an organisation of 10, for example, okay, you know, you can make do. But taking away the only person who can do the job, like, you know, the stuff he's doing, I can't just suddenly take it over. And even if I did, then my channel would suffer. My main content would suffer because I'd be doing the design, other stuff, you know. It's crazy. You shouldn't be allowed to take away, you know, an employee for 6 weeks from a 2-person company. It's just silly. Not happy with that at all. See, 349 people watching now. It's not a big bump, but I've heard that YouTube do not like that when I send out that community. It's not a tweet, but a community message out. Hardly anyone gets it, apparently. Hang on, I'll call my chat up again. Sorry for the yawning. Bit of a compulsive yawner. Are we still syncing with the... Yeah, we're still syncing with the chat. I know that YouTube, like, it's quite smart. It does put the chat next to it now, but you know, if I'm just doing this video, I might as well include the chat, actually embed it in the video as such, so... No juries in Mexico, huh? You have the choice, apparently. Well, you do here, and in the US and other places, I believe. You have the choice whether, you know, if you're on a certain level of, you know, criminal charges, you can choose to either have a jury trial or a non-jury trial. And it depends on, yeah, it's your choice, apparently. And so if you're, you know, if you're charged with something that you know, a jury might, you think a jury would convict you on, like as in they have some prejudice against you, or it sounds really bad to Joe Public, right? And they'd probably go, yeah, guilty, you know. But if you're, you know, not guilty by some technical means that the judge, because judges are supposed to be, you know, properly impartial and only go on the technical merits and, you know, or the legal merits and all that sort of stuff. So if you think you can get out of it on a technicality, like a legal technicality, you're better off not going for a jury, apparently. So that's the... Anyway. Don't take advice from an engineer on... don't take legal advice from an engineer. What type of oscilloscope do I recommend? Just get one of the cheap Rygels or Siglents. Like... instead of Rygel. Oh, is that... you the one who said about the knobs the other day? Well, you know, Siglent's the other option, really, I guess. Siglet comes with free decoders and stuff these days. They're all the... You know, they're all pretty much the same. You know, you can argue until the cows come home about little differences between them, but really, I mean, you know, there isn't, really. Oh, there might be things that are a showstopper for you, but, you know, how can anyone recommend that? They're all going to do the job. I just wouldn't touch like an O1 or something like that. It's, you know, maybe if you can get one for half price, maybe, but, yeah. Yeah, just get a Rygel or a Siglent. They're like the two big cheap names. Or GW Instec, for example. They're pretty good. There's a lot of people who like those. Any plans with EEV Discover? Yeah. Yep, I've got a tour of the Road Factory coming up. But then again, this ties into the recent poll I did on the forum about... I've been doing a lot of polls lately for my content. So if you want to say in it, you've got to join the forum, I guess. In that, most people said they want me to consolidate my content onto the main channel. It's okay like having a second channel, like, you know, just for random crap, you know, really unpolished videos or just other random garbage. But they want to see it all consolidated. So the EEV Discover channel may I may discontinue that as a thing, but I still want to do the videos that I wanted to do for that channel, and I've got at least one lined up soon. They're just upgrading the road factory at the moment, so as soon as they finish that, I'll be doing a tour there. But yeah, the EEV Discover channel as a concept, I think I might just drop and put it all on the main channel. What do I think about the RF branch? Do I understand it very well? Are you a dark magic player? I'm not an RF guy. I've done some RF, you know, and I've done lots of RF PCBs and stuff like that. But I'm not, you know, it doesn't interest me much. I wouldn't say I'm very good at RF. Can probably muddle my way through, you know, a chunk of it. But like, you know, some of it's just whoosh straight over my. You know, it's just something that I've never really dealt with apart from a more like superficial kind of, or you know, really basic level. Yeah, imagine being on a trial for 6 weeks. You'd go insane. There is no soldering. Yes, it's false advertising. Sue me. All objections must be in writing on the back of a postcard. Yeah, the RTB 2004, that's a very nice scope, if you can afford it. It's really pretty sweet. It's Engineers Day in India, is it? Any other countries have Engineers Day? Although India hold their engineers in high regard, I do believe. It's, you know, it's equivalent to being a doctor in India. It's like you be an engineer or a doctor. You know, like they're almost equivalent apparently. And from what I've heard. I'm a fan of quite a few YouTube channels. I wouldn't know where to start. Some you wouldn't be interested in. What kind of PCB layout software should I learn for industry? Altium. Altium's probably the most universal appeal. In terms of, you know, the companies that would hire you would be looking for, probably. I wouldn't use Eagle, or I wouldn't learn Eagle or anything like that. I'd learn Altium. Calculator review channel. Sure, I've done videos about case design, maybe in my micro supply series. What is the best size to start with SMD soldering? Do not do 0402s. Start with, well, you know, I would start with the 1206s because they're like really easy. Then move to the 0805s, then the 0603s. You know. 0603s probably is too small to start with. So as a minimum, as a maximum, I would start with 0805 parts to learn surface mount. Is Fran here? Or as Fran Blanche said somewhere else, do not combine content on your channel or YouTube won't show it in the reckon. No, we've been talking about that offline. I think there's more to it than that. The phrase. Yeah, I plan to teach SIG and soldering very soon. Yes, you can get a CID Plus on your own. You just got to pay money. It's a paid course. It's not cheap. I didn't pay for it on my own. Company paid for it. Yes, I've watched Great Scott, but I don't regularly watch Great Scott. The content's not for me. I don't really get any value out of it. Yeah, I save most of the stuff I get from Mailbag. I've got a storage bunker. See you, Tommy. Yeah, don't start with 0603. When you're learning surface mount, just like maybe with some magnification, fine, but just gee, start easy. I mean, it's not that 0603s are hard, they're not. It's just, I don't know why you'd start there. A 4-year-old's probably too young for electronics as such. Don't teach a 4-year-old electronics. Get him into... Well, no, there's these kits you can get. Sagan and Huxley have these, plug circuit design kits, and they've got, like a motor with a thing that spins up and a rotor thing that flies up in the air, and, and you can build your circuits of batteries, switches, and they've got light bulbs and LEDs, and, and you can wire them in series and parallel and stuff like that. So... there are ones designed for kids that age, but I wouldn't be teaching them, just interest in, I wouldn't be teaching them what's the difference between series and parallel, for example. It's just it's just silly. Just let them have fun just building stuff. Sorry, Adrian, I don't understand your question. It's a bit... because English isn't your first language. How is it to you to make a channel about a subject when you speak for a specific public and you are watching in all the world? How is it to you about this? I can only assume that your question means how do I feel about creating content for all around the world? Well, I don't really think about it. I don't think about, I have to make it easy for non-English speaking people. I'm sorry, that's just, not something that I think about when I'm making content. But I've heard that a lot of people learn English from my videos, which is scary. Yeah, where's the Def Pom? I don't know, he always seems to turn up. He's probably out with his family. He's a nice guy. A tech tour of my lab. It's not very interesting. And it's a mess at the moment. You have to define cheap, Dan. What is a good cheap microscope? You have to define price. I'm getting a new one, which is about it's about $600 US. Haven't got it. It's on order, and it's an absolute killer. Hopefully. So it depends on the price range. People rave about the AM scope ones, but and stuff. But even they might be too expensive. Oh god, what's their name? I keep forgetting their name. Nah, I'll give up. Might come to me. Do I have any career advice for engineers trying to get into PCB design? It's simple. Do PCB designs. Like, simply, that's it. Like, seriously, because it's so cheap to get boards made these days, right? What I would recommend you do is get whatever package it is you're using. Like if you're using Eagle or KiCad or something like that, find the most complicated open source design you can, right? There's like for KiCad, for example, there's open source ARM boards and stuff like that with, you know, controlled impedance trace, like high-speed DDR traces and all that sort of stuff. Import that design in. Don't copy the PCB, but import it in, the schematic, and lay out the board yourself from scratch and then get it made. Actually, you know, like a 6-layer board or something. Get it laid with controlled impedance, DDR traces and everything else. And do it. Doesn't matter if it takes you a couple of months to lay out the board. Doesn't matter. Do that and make it really funky and get it made, because it costs, you know, $50 or something to get a board made. It's not expensive. But then you've got something you can take along to your job interviews, right? And say, hey, look, I laid out this board. I didn't design all the circuit and everything else, but, you know, at least look, I laid out the board. I'm a PCB designer. And of course, it helps if you build up and it works, of course. But yeah, yes, I would do lay out boards. If you want to become a PCB designer, you start laying out boards. Simple as that. They don't have to be your own design boards. Well, the little layout has to be yours, but the circuit doesn't. So there's plenty out there. There's countless ones. The one I'm getting, Protocol, the one I'm getting is sub $1,000, and I believe it will blow the AM scope out of the water. So stay tuned for that one. No, Omar, why would I want to host other channels' videos on the EEVblog? Behind the scenes, there's been talk about between various content creators. I won't say there's a secret club behind the scenes, but secret handshake. Yeah, we've been talking about it. It was raised that, hey, there could be a common community channel, for example, that all of the top electronics YouTubers actually put content on that channel, so you don't have to subscribe to one channel. You'd see all this bunch of different content and stuff like that. There was talk about it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't have the time to contribute to other channels. Anyway. No! The Peter Popoff mail has stopped. Haven't had any pop-off for a long time now. Very disappointed. I don't recall what the X chapters are. They're extended chapters, I know, but I used to know the detail, but I forget. I think they might have even sent me some example X chapters way back. The authors sent me, Win Hill sent me some of the example X chapters before the book, well, just after the book was released or something. I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at them. I'll let you know about the scope I've got on order when I get it. Some people on the forum know. Hey Dave, I've bought some new solder tips, but they seem to melt really quickly while the iron is a 30-watt cheapie. Why does that happen? It's It's because you've got a $30 cheapy iron and the crappiest tips that are just made from I don't know, cast bloody metal or something. Just like it's nothing worse than crap quality tips and a crap quality soldering iron. My older iron never killed a tip in 30 years. Yeah, because the tips are shit these days. You know, you buy the Heiko tips on eBay. They're genuine, guaranteed to be fake, and they're not as good as the real McCoy. So yeah, only buy tips from the reputable suppliers. If you buy them on eBay, they're probably doesn't matter what the brand is. They're probably fake. And there's a lot of art and science which goes into constructing a good soldering iron tip, in terms of plating and the multiple layers and the thicknesses and all sorts of stuff. It's, you know. Yes, Illuminati confirmed. I will neither confirm nor deny that myself, Lewis, and Big Clive are in some sort of club, and ABE are in some sort of club. I will not confirm nor deny. Need a channel called BigDave.com. I'm hardly big. Oh, Popov died! Is he dead? Good riddance. Bloody scammer. No, he's not. No. Not according to Wikipedia. 72 years old. Bastard. Still around, it seems. Can we trust Uni-T products? Oh, you know, they're a bit how you doing. Like, you know, I wouldn't buy a Uni-T scope. Once again, unless you go, like, it all comes down to price, you know, like if a Uni-T scope is half the price of a Rygel scope or a Siglent scope, for example, then, you know, you can argue that, well, you know, it's probably, you know, it's going to do the business, right, for that price. Yeah, I'm 100% over shit soldering irons, yeah. I have no idea about the new iPhone. I didn't know there was a new iPhone. I don't care. Although, interestingly, the company, what is it, iFixit, who get all the first teardown of the new iPhones, the way they do that is to actually fly to Australia, buy it here, and they actually go just down the road from me. I could walk there. That's where they do their teardowns. That's where they shoot their teardowns, within walking distance of this lab. So, yep. Yes, there's a big assembly house here with all the whiz-bang X-ray stuff and everything else. And, yep, that's where they do their teardowns. A sign that one has no life. One enters a chat called live soldering. Yeah. 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 394 sad people. Yep. EEVblog. The shirt is dope. Got this shirt from a mate of mine who works at Atlassian. It is an Atlassian shirt. Works at Atlassian. He's one of the product managers at Atlassian. You've seen him on the blog before. Oh, sorry about yawning. No, I have not seen the Handtech 4000 series scopes. How do people design and test large, complicated circuits that seem too large for breadboards? They build them up on PCB. They, you know, some will simulate. You know, mostly you'll only simulate stuff that you're not sure about. You know, some tricky analog thing or something like that. You know, maybe you'll, like at the moment for the micro supply, we're simulating a flyback DC to DC converter, for example. You know, because David too is really into simulation. It really, you know, gets him all moist and excited. So I let him simulate it, you know. Me, I just build it up, you know. I'm sure iFixit don't care about me or don't even know about my existence. So if I tried to contact them to do a collaboration video, I'm sure they wouldn't even respond. Is Rygel going to send me the new fancy shape function gen? Well, actually, they just contacted me. I just read an email this morning. They wanted to know about advertising, and they asked me, has anyone contacted me about getting the new function gen? No. Oh, there's a new Delta 2. Oh, the last Delta 2 rocket launch in 5 hours. I didn't know. Had no idea. Do I miss working on sonar? Not really. No. Don't miss it. So you've made me yawn again, Joanna. Have we got another girl here? That's at least two. They're punching above their weight today. It's probably more, but, you know, they could be under a pseudonym. Do some work, Dave. Nah, bugger off. I'm going to be lazy Dave today. How will the stream end and when? How will it end? It's like the Truman Show. How will it end? Thoughts on the current Sydney weather? Well, it's like 32 degrees out there today. It's pretty warm. Apparently it's going to be freezing tomorrow. I'm going up the mountains tomorrow. Should have gone up there today. Yeah, going up the family with mountains with the family tomorrow. Thanks, Michael. What do I think is the most exciting new area of electronics? Oh God. Got no idea. Nothing springs to mind. Sorry. Maybe I do need to go home. Maybe I am too tired. The case behind me is the Data I/O programmer. I've got a bunch of scopes. Which is my go-to scope? My go-to scope is probably the one that's nearest to me. Seriously, like, people ask me this all the time. Why do I use a certain scope, or why do I use a certain multimeter in a video, etc., a certain bit of gear in a video? It's probably because it's the one nearest to me when I'm making the video. There's other requirements in terms. I know I'm deviating from your question here. I will get back to it. But yeah, sometimes I might need a small scope to fit in a video frame because I'm careful about my framing and stuff like that. Sometimes I might need a large, you know, touchscreen one, for example. So I might go for the Roden Schwartz or something like that, you know. And But if you had to ask, what is my go-to scope? If I just wanted to do some troubleshooting and it had nothing to do with filming or anything like that, and I go, right, I just want a scope that's going to do the job, it would probably be the Keysight. Because it just works. It's just so nice and it just works. You don't have to dick around with anything. Its interface is so nice. It'd be the Keysight scope would be my go-to. Either the little 1000 series, or if I needed some more serious grunt and bandwidth, it'd be the 3000 series. What is my oldest piece of self-made test gear that I still use? I've got 2 power supplies here that I built back in maybe the 80s, or was it the 80s? Maybe. That I still use. Other test gear, I've got the Bob Parker ESR meter, but that's probably from the 90s. Probably, yeah, that'd be from the 90s, is it? Self-made test gear that I still use. I don't use that, it's not like I use my old, digital scope that I designed and published, or my logic analyzer that I designed and published, yeah. Thank you very much, Michael. Our first super chat. Get a coffee. Caesar, do I look like I need coffee? I don't drink. I don't drink coffee or alcohol. Tea, coffee, or alcohol. So, no, I don't have anything in the fridge. Hang on. No, I had some smoothie in the drink, but it's all gone. It's all gone. I've done that, Omar. I've done a few videos, at least a couple of videos showing old projects of mine. Oh yeah, Christian. Yeah, the Decade Resistance box. Technically, I still use that. Yeah. Switches in it are really dicky, but it's here and I do use it. But I've got better boxes, but sometimes I might need more than one or two, or I can't find the good one, and or David Two's borrowed the good one, and I'm left with my old hand-built one from when I was a teenager, and yeah, I still use it. Bloody Ripper is not swearing in Australia. I don't know why you would consider Bloody Ripper. Bloody Ripper. I don't know why you'd consider why anyone would consider that swearing. It's certainly not considered swearing here in Australia. Swearing is pretty much, you've pretty much got to drop the F-bomb to be swearing here. Yeah, it's like, yeah, just saying Bloody Ripper, no, not a chance. The BM235 backlight started flickering. Is that a known issue? No, not as far as I'm aware. It's not. It's not a thing. So maybe there's I don't know. Is there a dry joint on the? Because it's a right angle thing. They've got to solder the right angle PCB onto the thing, so maybe that's worth a squiz, but no, it's not a thing. Should not happen from I'd say it's more likely to be a mechanical, like solder joint thing or some other contact thing, rather than it's not a circuit thing. What is the most tedious project I've ever had to design, Joanna? Oh, geez, tedious. I'm trying to think. Tedious. Gee, nothing springs to mind. Nothing. I don't associate the word tedious with anything offhand. There's a couple of military sonar projects that were, well, tedious from not from like a circuit design or PCB design aspect, but from a system level company aspect. When if you've worked for a military company or any other regulated company, like you're designing some sort of medical device or something like that, you'll know what tedious. You'll know what kind of tedious I'm talking about, just in terms of paperwork, you know. So from that aspect, not from a circuit point of view, tedious. That doesn't ring a bell, but more from a system point of view. Just, you know, the amount of paperwork that you got, and other crap you got to go to, you know. And it's like I can remember days when, just, you know, I wanted a resistor, like, or a chip that we didn't have. Right, so we had to order it from Farnell or RS. You know, there was no credit card, none of this credit card bullshit that you could just go order it and it comes in. No, you had to get the company had these pads that, you know, you would print up, and they're in triplicate with the carbon paper and everything, and you had to handwrite it. You couldn't digitally do it or anything. There was no way to digitally do it, so you had to handwrite all this complicated purchase request thing, and then and then get it signed by like 2 managers or something. You know, if you just want like a $1 chip to finish your circuit, right? Like, this is what you have to get it signed by 2 managers. Then you'd have to take it to the purchasing department. Then you'd have to wait a day or 2 for them to process it, unless you can do a deal with them, you know. Like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. And it'd take them a couple of days to process it before they would eventually put the order through on the company account to Farnell or RS or whoever it was, you know. And it was like so tedious. Yeah. I have not heard about the Sunspot Observatory closure. I have no idea what that is. Well, I know what a Sunspot Observatory is, but, you know, which country is it? Who's shutting it down? Why? I got, like, isn't there multiple ones around the world? Like, I don't know. What do I think about manufacturing electronics out in the United States right now? Everyone's onsourcing. Onsourcing's the latest fad. Onshoring, which is bringing manufacturing back from China to your home country, be it the US or to Australia or whichever one. You love requirement-driven engineering and change control management. Oh! Sorry, yeah, split screen chat is broken. I just reconnected the chat. I'm selecting it. Is it an XSplit problem or is it a YouTube problem? Sorry. I just don't know. Don't know what's going on there. It's a bit how you doing. Oh no, is it? No, the chat seems to be there. Oh no, that's really old. Okay. No. Yeah, sorry. Add source. YouTube widgets, live chat viewer. Oh, I've got to authorize again. Oh no, look, I'm not going through with that. That's just ridiculous. Sorry, no. Why it doesn't keep the authorization with XSplit, that's just ridiculous. That's a joke. Nah, sorry. It's gone. It's gone. I'm going full screen. Bugger it. Nah, it's gone. Sorry, chat's gone. I don't know what's going on there. I've done a tutorial on Clive. I've done a tutorial on switch modes. I thought it was pretty good. How I equated a switch mode power supply to a linear regulator, a switch mode regulator to a linear regulator. Oh, oh, tinfoil hat time, Michael. Yeah, yeah. An observatory in the USA has suddenly shut down. No one seems open to saying why, including the local police and government agencies. Illuminati confirmed. The sun is in imminent meltdown, and we have 8 minutes left, which is the time it takes for the light to get here. An observatory in the US. This will be like, oh, it can't be on the Alex Jones show anymore, can it? It's gone. Solar observatory shut down. National Solar Observatory shut down by FBI, leading to fears of super solar flare. Mystery as FBI evacuates Sunspot Observatory. 2 days ago. 18 hours ago. Oh, this is great. This is great conspiracy shit. Now we're talking. Yep. Here we go. Maybe I can call up this. Here we go. Let me alien, yes, alien conspiracy. Yes. 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 Hang on. Let me call this shit up. This is great. Desktop. Can I just hang on? Desktop. Woohoo! Sorry, I'll just get that out of there. Alright, this is gold. This is gold. Yes. Damn. I know what I'm looking at tonight. This is hilarious. Love a good conspiracy. It's hilarious. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's what I look like. Yeah, sorry. I'm just gonna maybe move that down there. Perhaps. There you go. Sorry, just dicking around. There we go. Alien conspiracy. Am I looking the right? I think I'm looking the right direction. My eyes looking the yeah, I think they are. Alien conspiracy. Mystery as FBI shuts down observatory. They just evacuated us. Alien conspiracy theorists are abuzz after the FBI shut down the US observatory and locked down the surrounding area. Wow, skip survey. Sorry, Google. And more than a week later with no sign of reopening. Okay, so it's been down for a week. The post office in The post office? Oh, in what? Sunspot? They had their own post office? It's been closed until further notice. Maybe it's got nothing to do. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe it's got nothing to do with the, the actual sunspot. Maybe it's got nothing to do with the sun. Maybe, I don't know, there's some outbreak of some disease there or something. Who knows? But this is great. Due to a security issue. I don't know. That's our decision. May have snapped a UFO while they were taking pictures of the sun. Popular YouTube channel, Secure Team 10. I don't. Maybe should I be following Secure Team 10 for the lols? Hang on. This is great. This is great. I'm gonna have to follow this now. How did I know it was an? Oh shit! Wasn't supposed to mention the outbreak. Damn it! I'm in trouble now. What are those footsteps? Hang on. I want to. Where's that YouTube channel? Whether that be some sort of machine or craft while they were taking images of the sun, I don't know. Theories are abound. There could be some sort of alien craft or object, or a massive solar flare. See, like here's the thing, right? Like you just have to apply like a second's worth of reasoning to this. Like the sun is a long way away. It's very huge. If there was some, which means that the field of view of the telescope that views the sun, like some sort of alien craft would have to be the size of a planet for it to actually get pixel resolution, like actually to get the resolution to, and it'd have to come within the actual frame itself, like it'd have to come within the cone of frame or whatever of the camera. It's insanity. But you know, hey, it's good to it's good to believe, right? I'm surprised they went to aliens. What do the other articles say? I would have thought the natural conspiracy here would be that, you know, the sun's about to explode or something, and all the and they're sending all the people to the bunkers, you know, all the elite, the global elite, all the Illuminati. They're all going to their bunker in New Zealand, you know. All the rich and powerful are suddenly taking their private jet to New Zealand. That's the tell. But, you know, like surely there's other solar observatories around the world, you know? Like, it's just crazy. like list of solar observatories. List of solar telescopes. There you go. There's even a Wikipedia page for list of solar telescopes. Constructing. Proposed. Most of them are not owned by the United States of America. A lot of them are, but, you know. Like, you know, these are all, like, there's lots of solar observatories. And, you know, you'd have to shut them all up. So, yeah. Yeah, aliens have still got Harold Holt. Definitely. Absolutely. For those who don't know, and most of you probably wouldn't, because most of you will not be Australian. Even if you are Australian, maybe a lot of younger Australians who don't know about, haven't learned history at school. Our former Prime Minister, Harold Holt. This is back, when did Harold Holt disappear? Was it late 60s, early 70s? Anyway, Harold Holt, former Prime Minister of Australia. And I say former because he just went missing. Just vanished. and he went for a swim at a beach one morning, and he, you know, had his couple of cops following him around. You know, don't have a huge protective detail, you know, just a couple of donut eaters, and following him around, and he went for a swim and never came back. And they never found his body. And of course, Australia being Australia, just we'll just you know, get another one. No worries, she'll be right. Leader of our country just vanished. It's great. Yeah, Harold Holt. You know, the all the leading theories of the time was a Japanese submarine. You know, it was aliens or whatever, because they never found his body. It's very, like, if somebody drowns, it's very rare you never find their body. In fact, maybe it's almost unheard of that you don't find their body. So, the Smoky Man. Yeah. Well, we'll have to have the Smoky Man on the Amp Hour podcast next week. What do you think? They constructed a Dyson sphere. Oh dear. Yeah, yes, they. Yep. In an ironic twist, the Harold Holt Memorial Swimming Centre. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Australia's Prime Minister's just disappear and no one cares. Yeah. Yep. Yippity-doo-dah. Great stuff. Yeah, apparently the Smoky Man never smoked before, and they gave him these herbal cigarettes, and they said, yeah, every scene you got to be, you know, poor bastard. Oh dear, oh dear. Australia's not the best country, apparently. New Zealand is where all the global elite have their secret hideaways. They've all got, all the global elite have, you know, their private jets at the ready with enough fuel to get straight to New Zealand, and apparently it is the preferred place, the preferred Armageddon destination for all the global elite. New Zealand. It's got to be ancient aliens. Yep. Anyway, this is great. This is super solar flare to wipe out humanity. Theorists fear after solar observatory shutdown. Yep. To wipe out humanity. It'd take a lot to wipe out humanity. It could take down the, kill the grids though. Holy crap, you know. Continue and accept all. Don't have a choice, do I? Maybe I do. What website is this? The Express. The Daily and Sunday Express. Sounds legit. The FBI swooped on the National Solar Observatory last Thursday, closing it down. Security reasons. So they actually call it's the suburb is called Sunspot. The town is called Sunspot. Cool. Impending solar storm. But they can't predict them. They've got no predictors, really. They got, you know, it's. But of course, no. But the government do. The NASA do. You know, it's secret. It's hushed up. They've figured it all out. They can model it. And they know it's coming from like a week out, months out, you know. Super flare is on its way, which could wipe out humanity. And the FBI is not revealing this as they do not want the public to panic. One person wrote on 4chan. This is what constitutes news these days. One person wrote on 4chan. Jeez. Somebody tweeted. It's all about, you know, news articles are just... And the Twitterverse reacted, you know, and they show a couple of tweets from a random nobody. Like, oh, man. Oh, the forums must be right. You know, if everyone on 4chan's saying it's a solar flare, it's got to be a solar flare. Super flare, sorry. I called it. Rich people are going to start disappearing quietly. Yeah. They're all headed to New Zealand. Yep. But no, the solar, but they should be pouring, billions of dollars into research in this. They don't put nearly enough money into it. Like one of the biggest things. I didn't drop the F-bomb, did I? I try. I do use a lot of F-bombs in real life. I try not to do it on video. What was I going to say? Yes, we're at a solar minimum. Yeah, we're extreme solar minimum. That's the problem. What was I saying? God ain't gonna save us because there ain't no such thing. But I note that you did use lowercase g. So. Oh dear, oh dear. Not enough money goes into ancient alien research. Anyway, yeah, what was I saying? Yes, not enough money goes into solar research, because probably the biggest threat we have is probably, solar flares. Probably is. Just one that takes down the grid can destroy the grid for years. Months even, and even if it destroys it for a month, that's huge. Most people aren't actually prepared for the grid to go down for a month. It's like, really is a big deal. And it is a serious risk, and it can happen at any time. Nah, you've never heard me swear properly. You gotta see me in person to hear me swear properly. Why New Zealand? Not Switzerland. Well, Switzerland... Well, and Antarctica's obvious, is because it's a hellhole. You don't want to live in Antarctica. There's nothing there. Right? You can go there, and what are you going to... You have to live off your food reserves. And no more planes, no more food reserves are going to come in because the rest of the planet's destroyed. Why would you go to Antarctica? It's just dumb. You don't have the means to, farm and grow your own food and live. Why not Switzerland? Because Switzerland is in the middle of Europe, and everyone would just invade. Whereas New Zealand is about as isolated as it gets, and New Zealand is entirely self-sustaining, and they've got great farmland and abundant farmland and everything else, and it's just it's just so far away from everything. It's so hard to get to. Not hard to get to from Australia, but Australia's far from everywhere. That it's just it's just so isolated, and it's idyllic place. It's the it's fantastic, and it's so remote. But yeah, it's just a great place for the global elite to. So they're all buying up land in New Zealand, so that they can fly there. That's the See you, Scott. What's Google SETI? I don't know what Google SETI is. Google have a SETI thing? Is it just a career-killing test role? You go and work on SETI, it kills your career, just like in Contact, right? Just like Jodie Foster in Contact. Well, that's news to me. I didn't know that Google were working on SETI stuff. Nah, Canada's too close to... No, it's joined to the US. No. Have all the bloody Yanks invade. No. I want to go to Canada. New Zealand don't have infrastructure and technology and stuff. Come on, they've got more than enough to live. They have infrastructure and technology. Yeah, you can't, make new replacement chips for your thing or whatever, but like if shit hit the fan and the world was collapsing and stuff like that, you don't necessarily give too much of a toss about that anymore. All you care about is, can I eat and live, and and will my kids be, like New Zealand's a pretty good place to do it. Oh, Google set it. Oh, it's a verb. All right, okay. How is the relation of New Zealand and Australia? They're practically our cousins. We have an open border for any New Zealanders who want to come. I don't believe it's vice versa. For any New Zealanders who want to come here, you can come here and stay as long as you like, apparently. Or has it changed recently? But yeah, it used to be the case. I think it might be vice versa. So technically, I don't know, I haven't actually checked, but I think technically I might be allowed to just head to New Zealand and live there indefinitely. Because we, no, I don't use ad blockers. Sounds like a job at Honeywell. Career killing test roll. Yeah, I totally agree, Deraf Media. SETI is a nice project for a computer or, a large computing scientist or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. It's great. Just so much data to process and stuff like that. It's huge. Oh. The Gold Coast is the largest city of New Zealand. That's a bit of an Australian in-joke, that one. Have to get used to fish and chops. Fish and chops. Fontus is a career killer. New Zealand's in no risk of being overcrowded. How big is it? New Zealand's not huge. You can drive around it in a couple of days. South Island and North Island are very similar. Anyway. Oh, I love it. Now I'm going to be fascinated by this this thing. I've now got to watch this closely. It's going to be hilarious. They've even closed the post office. Why would they evacuate? See, like, why would they evacuate the town? Pretty much, it sounds like they're evacuating the town. That doesn't make sense. Like, none of this makes sense, right? If the government didn't want people to know, the last thing that they would do is shut down the observatory, tell everyone to leave, and shut down the town. No. Like, you would just cut off all communications from there, right? And send in a few armed guards or whatever, and just, like, keep it in lockdown or whatever, make sure nobody talks. Like, you wouldn't fuel all the conspiracy stuff with, like, shutting it down and stuff. It's got to be something else. It's going to be fascinating to find out why. So is this making big news? Is it like, is anyone in the US, like, can you tell us if this is like, 6 o'clock news kind of stuff? Or is it just the alternative media that are reporting on it? Have they shut down big media? Have they gagged them? Tell us. I might go soon, by the way. 6 o'clock. Go home, be with the family. So I'll give it another 5 minutes. No one is talking about this in the US. Literally had no idea until now. Oh, they've shut down big media. They've gagged them. Big media's working for Illuminati. And it's great. Oh, I love a good conspiracy. They're hilarious. Live in California. First you've heard of it. Some undocumented equipment installed. Washington Post reported on it. See, but that's just like false flag. Like, you know, well, not false, that's the wrong term. That's just like, you know, a false story. Just like, oh, it's out there. Yes, we reported on it. Nothing to see here. You know, they're hiding the real conspiracy. This is great. Ugh. Yeah, it's the pesky Russians. Pesky Ruskies. Better dead than red. Oh, Tucker Carlson talked about, isn't he the poster child for the, you know, the right wing media? Alien collusion, damn straight. It's been on Drudge Report for a couple of days. Must be legit. Too bad it's not on Alex. Alex Jones isn't around anymore. Just for kicks, I'd go watch what he had to say about it. Because it's always good for a laugh. What is the mechanism that would cause the power grid to go down from the solar flare? It'd just burn out all the transformers and everything, and the rectifiers and the you know, the whole works. And when it all goes down, it takes a long time to recover. They're just not prepared for such, you know, if every transformer gets blown to bits or whatever, and you know, every rectifier and every, you know, the control systems in power attached to the power grids that all arc over and stuff like that. I don't know the exact mechanism. I'm just guessing. But yeah. They found an obelisk. Yep. Might have to go watch 2001 and 2010 again. I don't know what Mrs. EEVblog is cooking for dinner. I should go home and find out. Secure Team 10 on YouTube. No, I won't. I won't start. InfoWars isn't... Oh, InfoWars website's still up. Yeah, I could go there. Just for kicks. Because sometimes he's freaking... Well, all the time he's freaking hilarious. Most of the time. Except when he's, you know, saying really bad stuff. But most of the time his stuff is hilarious. It's just, oh man. When you want to see how crazy shit can get, how crazy conspiracies get, just, you know, just switch over to Alex Jones. It's hilarious. You know, sometimes if I just want a good laugh, I like just watch a video or to see what the latest thing is. The latest conspiracy is. Oh dear. Well, talk about timing. They ban him all over social media on every channel. And next thing you know, they're shutting down the Solar Observatory. Got to be linked. Yeah, the observatory is just, it's closed for some other, you know, some other investigation or some other reason. I don't know. Like, yeah, Craig, I don't know the exact mechanism, but a lot of the experts say that yes, it will take it down. It could take it down for like 6 months or something, you know, like long periods of time if we get a massive solar flare. So, no way, 50 years. Yeah, it was, that's right. 68. 68. It was a year before we landed on the moon. Holy crap, man. That was so ahead of its time. I haven't read the books. I have to watch 2010 again. I haven't watched 2010 for a long time. I went to a screening of 2001 in 70mm print at the cinema, like 6 or 7 years ago. That was great. Made the mistake of dragging along Mrs. EEVblog. She just thought it was the most boring movie she's ever watched. Infowars homepage is going wild about Weather Channel Gate. I have no idea what Weather Channel Gate is. No, I don't own an iPhone. I don't want to own an iPhone. I have not ordered the new iPhone. I don't give a toss about iPhones. Yeah, it was groundbreaking 2001. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the maybe it was a reprint. I don't know, but I could have sworn it was a 70mm print of it. A radiation leak could explain evacuating the entire town. Yeah, I know 2010 wasn't as good as 2001, but I want to see it again. Anyway, I think I might go, guys. Sorry. I'm going to go home and be with the wife and kids. 6 p.m. Thanks for joining me, everyone, for this impromptu thing. Live show, because I was too lazy to clean up my lab. Well, I've been doing it for like half a day, cleaning up the lab. I haven't made, if you looked at it, I've made zero progress, like visually, but there's, you know, lots of little things that have gone on. Anyway, thanks, guys. Catch you next time.